So far, all of our output values and variables have been single numbers. You can also create more advanced data structures in R, like vectors and data frames. A vector is a series of numbers or characters stored as the same object. You can create a vector in R using the C function, which stands for combine. In your R console, type C, and then in parentheses, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, close the parentheses, and hit enter. This creates a vector of 5 numbers, all stored as the same object. To learn more about vectors in R, let's enter some data into R about the life expectancies in different countries. We'll first create a vector of country names, called country, using the C function. We'll put each country name in quotes, since we are typing characters, not numbers. So in your R console, type country equals, and then C for the combine function, parentheses, and then Brazil in quotes, comma, China in quotes, comma, India in quotes, comma, Switzerland in quotes, comma, and then USA in quotes. Close the parentheses and hit enter. Now let's create a second vector, this time with the life expectancies of these 5 countries in the same order that we entered the country names. We'll call this one life expectancy equals C, and then in parentheses 74, 76, 65, 83, 79. Close the parentheses and hit enter. Now if you take a look at both country and life expectancy, you can see that country has 5 character values and life expectancy has 5 numerical values. A word of warning, you shouldn't try to combine characters and numbers in the same vector. R only allows one data type in each vector, so all of the numbers will be converted to characters. This is bad because it won't allow us to do any numerical calculations with the numbers, like compute the mean. If you want to display an element of a vector, use square brackets. For example, we could type country and then a 1 in square brackets to get the first element of the country vector, Brazil. Or we could type life expectancy and then a 3 in square brackets to get the third element of life expectancy, 65, corresponding to India. Another nice function to create vectors in R is the seq function, which creates a sequence of numbers. Try typing seq and then in parentheses 0, 100, 2. Close the parentheses and hit enter. This gives a sequence of numbers from 0 to 100, starting at 0, the first argument to the seq function, ending at 100, the second argument to the seq function, and the numbers are in increments of 2, the third argument to the seq function. This can be useful if you want to create a unique identifier for observations. Now, let's combine our vectors into what we call a data frame in R. This will be an important data structure for us because all of the data files we'll work with in this course will be loaded as data frames. Additionally, many algorithms in R require all of the data to be in a single object, like a data frame. We'll call our data frame country data, and then use the data.frame function to combine country and life expectancy. So after typing country data equals data.frame, in parentheses, type country, comma, life expectancy. Then close the parentheses and hit enter. Let's take a look at country data by typing country data and hitting enter. It has 2 columns, our variables, and 5 rows, our observations. It's similar to how you might organize data in a spreadsheet software, like Excel. Let's say we now want to add another variable to our data frame, the population in thousands of each country. We can do this by using a $ to link the new data into the data frame. So we'll type the name of our data frame, country data, and then a $ followed by the name of the new variable we want to add, population. Then we'll set this equal to C, and in parentheses, the population in thousands of each country. So 199,000, comma, 1,390,000, comma, 1,240,000, comma, 7,997, comma, and 318,000. Close the parentheses and hit enter. Now if you take a look at country data, you should see that we have a third column, population. We'll use this $ notation a lot, and we'll talk about it more later in this lecture. Note that we had to give the population values in the correct order. R will just combine the vectors in the order they're typed. Now, suppose we want to add 2 new observations for Australia and Greece. We first need to create new country, life expectancy, and population vectors. So we'll now set country equal to the names of the new countries, Australia, and Greece. We'll set life expectancy equal to the new life expectancies, 82 and 81, and we'll call population a vector of the populations of these countries, 23,050 and 11,125. Then we can create a new data frame. We'll call this one new country data, and we'll set it equal to data.frame, and in parentheses, country, life expectancy, and population. Note that we combined 3 vectors here with the data.frame function. If we take a look at new country data, we can see that it's very similar to country data. Lastly, let's combine country data and new country data with the rbind function, which combines data frames by stacking the rows. We'll call this new data frame all country data, and we'll use the rbind function to combine country data and new country data. If we take a look at all country data, we can see that it has the 3 variables from before and all 7 observations. The functions we've used in this video have allowed us to create data structures and modify data structures in R. But most of the time, you'll be reading in data from an external file, which we'll do in the next video.